file 51852CA. All right, I've had the pleasure of a sidebar with our attorneys, some by Zoom and some in person this afternoon. Before we came on record for purposes of the motion filed on behalf of Mr. Hardy, it was scheduled for hearing today. The motion for relief from order specifically. May I have the names of our participants, please, beginning with the representation for Mr. Hardy, and then we'll go from there.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Stephen Matt up here on behalf of the movement, Greg Hardy. He's also on hearing here today.
Okay, Mr. Hardy, can we have your name for the record?
Greg, state your name.
Oh, he's not connected to audio. You might need to reach out to him to help him connect. It doesn't look like he's aware that he's not connected to audio.
Ah, okay.
But I'll be happy to watch for him in the waiting room in case he logs in under something else.
Okay. I'll send him a note right now.
Okay, let's finish with our Zoom participants and then we'll go to the courtroom. Mr. Head.
Thank you. Sean Head, appearing on behalf of Dale Warner, and we would ask to waive Mr. Warner's appearance.
Yes, I would be inclined to grant that. Any objections?
No.
None.
No.
Very good. All right, we have, I think, Zach logged in. Would you like to introduce yourself? Likely Mr. Zach Bach we have on that particular login. And then in the courtroom?
John Glazier, I'm here in just a limited sense for today's date, as well as to the adjourned hearing. I will not be representing my client beyond those 2 dates. I'm for Suzanne Malone. I'm basically in a situation where I'm just going to question her. She didn't really want to question herself when she was going to stand. I'm from the public defender's office, but I'm not acting as a public defender at this point.
Thank you for that clarification. Will we be expecting an appearance from you, or maybe?
Yeah, I'm going to enter a limited appearance just for those 2 days, or for today's date, and also the adjourned hearing.
Suzanne Wilhelms, court-appointed attorney for Angelina Warner.
Good afternoon, Ariel Berger here is the attorney for Dee Warner.
Michael McFarland, attorney guardian ad litem for Deanne Warner.
All right. My impression of our sidebar was that people are prepared, all of our litigants are prepared for an evidentiary hearing. There were several witnesses subpoenaed today who I know have driven from some distance, but I did not have this docketed for an evidentiary hearing today. And there were also some potential resolutions that were discussed just briefly in our sidebar. My understanding is Mr. Matta and Mr. Glazier would potentially want some more time to discuss that. So all of those things together present the opportunity to set a date wherein we could reserve at least half a day for purposes of testimony. So any additional comments on the sidebar, as well as whether or not you agree with that formally on the record? Let's begin with you, Mr. Matt.
No, Judge, that's correct. We did agree to have an evidentiary hearing for half day set for May 13th, I believe, at 9 a.m. Witnesses and everyone ready to go that day and try to get it done. In the meantime, Ms. Wilhelm's counsel, Mr. Glazier, and I will attempt to fashion a remedy that is satisfactory to everybody if we can do that.
Any comments, Mr. Head, and your position?
No objection, Your Honor. No comments. I believe that's stated correctly.
Your Honor, I believe that's accurate. We also have Mr. Holderman in the courtroom, who's also an attorney for a party.
Do you have any comments?
I have nothing to add, Your Honor.
Any confirmation or denial on the suggestion for the evidentiary hearing?
Yes, I do believe that it would be appropriate at this time.
No objection to being adjourned. Mr. Matta, I'll send you my information on how to get a hold of me.
That would be great. Thank you.
Mr. Polderin?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, the court will then schedule the morning of the 13th of May from 9 to noon for purposes of an evidentiary hearing to allow for additional time for testimony as may be needed, as well as to allow the parties to explore potential alternatives to resolution. And who would like to prepare the order?
I'm happy to do that, Judge. I guess the one question I have is I was only aware of what I would call the CA case that you called this, the only place I filed it under, but I received from Ms. Berger a copy of the ex parte motion that Ms. Wilhelm filed in the GM case. I guess I want to know if this was filed in every other case, and if so, if I can get them, I'll make sure the order is referenced all of those cases.
I warmly recommend you take that question up with my clerk's office.
Okay. Very good.
Anything else before we close the record?
Nothing additional.
No,
Oh, did you order our subpoenaed witnesses back?
Yes, thank you. Any subpoenas that were in place for today will be continued to May 13th at 9 a.m. Anything else?
Your Honor,
Yes.
my name is Larry Lee, but I'm just one of the subpoena witnesses. I am available on May 13th, but I have a sentencing that morning. Would the court be able to provide a space for me where I can do the sentencing by Zoom?
Yes,
Thank you.
that's fine. I think where we usually have our sidebars, we could probably make that available for you.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, I'll look forward to that